What are the main region destinations? According to the 2018 Democracy Index made by The Economist, the region has improved in matters of democracy, but is still behind other regions of the world like North America, Western Europe, and Latin America. Also, the report says of 25 countries, 13 are flawed democracies, 6 are authoritarian countries, 6 are hybrid regimes, and there are only 2 full democracies in the region. How governance has changed in the continent? In 2018, Malaysia and Afghanistan held major elections successfully. This is important because in the case of Afghanistan, this is the third most authoritarian country in the region and one of the most authoritarian countries in the whole world. And there is still a high prevalence of terrorist groups that threats the democratic institutions of the country. Which other changes in governance can we expect? The resurgence of the opposition in the region has been a major trend in some countries like Malaysia and Pakistan. Also in other countries like India and Indonesia that are getting ready for elections this year.
Talking about politics and corruption, Asia Pacific region is making a very little progress in the fight against corruption, and compared to other regions, it is on par with the Americas with an average score of 44, but it is behind the Western Europe and the European Union, both with an average score of 66. Why is Asia Pacific making this little progress to no progress against corruption? One of the reasons is an overall weakening of democratic and political institutions and political rights in Asia. Now in economics, as it is well known, 1,000 years ago, Asia dominated the world economy, producing about 2/3 of its output, and now still the continent's rise is doing very well and continues right. They have a shared world GDP of 33%. The share world currency reserves of Asia is between 52.1 and 62.1%. So they're doing very well in economy, but they still have to fight against corruption all over their countries.
Over the past few decades, this region has served as an engine of the growth for the global economy, from the emergence of China as an economic powerhouse to the rise of an Asian middle class. Powerful demographic trends propelled the region to world-beating growth, but the recent slowdown in China's growth has raised concerns about regional and country-specific economic growth. The result appears is no longer a one-size-fits-all growth story. First and foremost, prominent business and political leaders call for a lot of policy stability and predictability because international investors love to see continuity within the markets, and they like to see consistency and great degrees of transparency. Then, in order to grow, you can have countries like Philippines, which have better political stability, have done some reforms, and likely to see a very strong growth of 5, 6, or 7% a year. On the other end, you have countries with its own domestic problems, like political problems. In Thailand, which likely to cap growth and make it only see 2 to 3% growth each year.